Morning. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty exhausted. This ongoing battle with COVID in the family, in the church family, and all the exhaustion this time of year are finally getting to me a little bit. At 4 o'clock this morning, I was wide awake thinking of everything that I had to do today. But as I lay awake and as I was thinking, I remembered the women that had been with Jesus, the women that had been Jesus's friends, the women that had stood and watched as he hung on the cross, the women who watched as Joseph of Arimathea took Jesus down off the cross and laid him in a tomb. I thought, how must they have been feeling over that last 24 hours? How exhausted must they have been? They couldn't even do the things that they wanted to do for Jesus, to prepare his body properly for burial. Instead, they had to go home. I wonder how many hours they slept. We know it was very early on the first day of the week when they went to see Jesus. They were doing what they could, the only thing they knew how to do, to go and get his body ready. Yet as they went, they were filled with worries and concerns. How on earth will we roll away the stone? I wonder if they worried about the soldiers guarding the tomb. And when they got there, it seemed just as confusing. No soldiers, a stone rolled away. But where was Jesus? His body wasn't there. It must have seemed like disaster after disaster. But then the wonderful message. He is not here. He has risen. And that was the message that changed everything. Jesus was not dead. It was not the end. The worst had not happened. Jesus was alive. And Jesus is alive now. That's our wonderful message of Easter morning. Jesus is alive. We have a friend who cares. We have a friend who is with us. We have a friend who's got resources that are beyond our imagining. We've got friends who can do things in us that we never knew were even possible. So if you're feeling exhausted this Easter morning, if you're feeling ground down and worn out, if you're feeling overwhelmed by the pressures of the world, remember, Jesus is alive. Jesus is risen. Jesus is with you. And as you reach out to him, you discover his arms have been reaching out to you all along. So hold Jesus, hold his hands, hold his risen hands, the hands pierced for you this Easter, and know that he's with you, whatever happens. Have a really wonderful Easter.